Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Deanna and you're watching Orchie Dee, and I know it's the evening here but I have to do some watering. We're going away for the weekend, so I just have to make sure that a few of these orchids are well watered before I leave. You know, they have all these rules about not watering at night time, which I think is a great rule in winter, but for me it's hot tonight. Like, it's hot out here, there's a breeze coming through, my orchids are going to dry, and just lifestyle wise, I can't water in the mornings sometimes. It's got to be when I come home from work in the afternoon, so sometimes that's just when I can water. So yeah, you know, rules are made to be broken sometimes. And I wanted to show you my new RO unit. So there's all RO water coming out and I'm filling my little basin. The water pressure is not great, it's very slow actually. This is just because the tank's sort of a little bit full, but it really starts getting quite lower in flow as time progresses. So it takes a really long time to fill this basin, which I think is around 20 litres. So it's quite a lot of water. But down here, I'll show you the system, but there's a bladder tank down here, and it's a 3-stage reverse osmosis unit. So we've got an initial sediment filter here, so the water runs from there into here, and then we've got carbon filter here, and this is the reverse osmosis system up here. So yeah, I had a lot of trouble with the company that I got it from. I bought it from this company in Australia because they come and install it, so they installed it, and when I started using it, the parts per million came up as 236, which is the same as my tap water, and there was a lot of resistance to saying that, you know, it wasn't their fault, which I have no idea. You know, to me the whole point of an RO system is to reduce the ppm, but trying to convince the people to come back was a real effort. Anyway, I finally got some to come back. I don't know what they did. They jiggled a few things, they, I don't know, reconnected a few things and did this and did that, and yeah, the parts per million started coming down, and so it's not too bad. It's not zero, but you might realize I started off with quite a high parts per million anyway, so my tap water is, yeah, about 235 parts per million, and that hasn't always been the case. When I first moved in to this house over a year ago, my parts per million was about 80 or 90, and after they started doing some construction around this area, the parts per million never came down after that. So from my previous video you might have seen I got some cool new gadgets, but I'm loving these. I know you don't need an expensive kit, but I ended up getting quite a good quality TDS meter. So shall we test this TDS? Shows the temperature as well. So it's reading 15.7. So yes, it could be lower, but from most of what I've read, a good reverse osmosis system will get about 90% efficiency. So if I've got 230 parts per million in my tap water, then up to 23 would be sort of an acceptable number for this RO water. It would be nice if it was lower, but you know, 15 is fine. And I've got a pH meter here. I actually haven't tested the pH yet because I haven't used this water for watering yet. I thought I'd share the experience with you. So we shall very tricky with one hand. Test the pH. Okay. pH meters take a little bit of time to adjust. Definitely shouldn't be high. I would expect it to be a little bit lower. I'll give it a second. It's coming down, down. You can see in the meantime that flow has slowed down quite a bit as the bladder, like that tank down underneath the sink is emptying. They do take a little bit of time to adjust these pH meters. Oh, it's quite low. So 6.2. Interesting. So that's quite low. So the stuff I'm going to be using today is this grow and flower orchid food, which I'm trying to use up, but that's the breakdown there. It's not too bad. It does have a bit of calcium, magnesium. It's not a bad little mix. And I'm going to add a little bit of CalMag in. Now it's not CalMag, it's called Cocoa Cal. I'll show you the breakdown of this. It's got a little bit of nitrogen, calcium, magnesium. They're not high concentrations, but you can see it's got a bit of chelated iron in there. The other thing that I am planning to sort of get more involved in with my watering is pH adjustments. So I've had very little control over what I've been doing with my watering until recently, and I've recently started to play around with pH, and I've been waiting for this RO unit because I'm really excited. I've got quite a reasonable collection now. Like, I've got a lot more orchids in my upstairs grow space as well. I care about the difference between just growing them and growing them well. So I have to give a shout out to Rick L Orchids because he has the most amazing videos on nutrients. He's so passionate about nutrients, and the way he explains things and his knowledge on the subject is just second to none on YouTube. So I really was inspired to grow my orchids, or try and grow my orchids to their best potential, essentially, and be able to sort of read them and adjust my nutrients to what they need. Now, I've sort of downloaded this and stuck this on there. It's Grow Weed Easy. So it's actually from a marijuana growing thing. I'm not growing marijuana, obviously, but it's for hydroponics. Let's ignore the marijuana bit. And it just shows sort of this ideal range of 5.5 to 6.5, but you can see that there's some elements that are better on the lower end of that spectrum and some on the higher end of that spectrum. So what Rick sort of suggests is every time you feed, just vary between that pH range. Don't always feed at this ideal 5.8. Sometimes bring it up a bit. You'll get more magnesium absorption, calcium absorption, whereas at the lower end you'll get a bit more phosphorus and a bit more of the micronutrients. I think that's a really great tip, and so I'm going to be adjusting my pH and varying it a little bit. Now, I do have to take into account that I do grow in bark, and I do use sphagnum, which does lower the pH a bit, so that's all in the back of my mind. And you know, there are ways to sort of test the pH of your medium as well, which I won't go into. But I have got some proper stuff. I've got some pH down, which really is just citric acid. So once this runs out, I'll just be probably filling this up with some powdered citric acid and making up a solution. I've got pH up even, and I've actually got buffers and stuff like that for my pH meter, so it's calibrated. Like, I feel like a real scientist, although I actually do have a Bachelor of Applied Science behind my name, so but that's not the science I used to do. So yeah, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to step up my game a little bit. I'm excited because I've got this RO water and I don't have to work with like shitty tap water with like 230 parts per million, which is like hard and gross. And plus we can use this for drinking water too, so double yay. Alright guys, well, I'm still waiting for this to fill up. I think I'm going to try and figure out ways to make my life easier. I might actually fill a few of, you know, these, like, I guess they're 1 gallon, like 4-litre bottles with this stuff when I've got time, so I'll have a supply. Yeah, it's all doable. It just needs a bit more planning. So I'm going to go ahead, water these orchids, and then I've got to wrap some Christmas presents, and then we've got a family Christmas gathering down at the Gold Coast with my fiance's family, which should be fun because he's actually got some young kids in the family, and so Christmas is always a little bit more fun with little kids. Alright guys, well, my videos are a little bit few and far between these days. It's been a really busy month, and I have, you know, all this work stuff going on. I actually got a promotion at work, but it just comes with this huge amount of extra work, so yeah, may not be able to produce the videos as I would have wanted, like twice a week anymore, but I will definitely still be posting regular videos. I just got to figure out my schedule and timing a little bit, but if I don't post another video before Christmas, I want to wish you guys all a very happy Christmas, a safe holiday period, and a happy new year as well. Okay guys, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy growing until then. Bye.